hung or that are stuck to that cluster. Are we together? I hope you get that demonstration and you don't forget it. So on the cluster of ICT, we have computer application user, we have website developer, we have web applications developer, we have website developer, we have computer technician, we have, are we together? So on that cluster, what we are all here for is level 1. Please note, I'll explain. Then on the same cluster, at an advanced level, we shall have level 2. But there is the same fingers, but with more advanced needs and answers. Are we together? So if you are a level 1 certified person, you can't do what a level 2 certified person does. Are we together? Okay. So that is the cluster. Call it a subject. Then, under the cluster, we have occupations. Now those are the what? The fingers. So those are occupations. Why you call them occupations? Because you're going to be occupationally an ICT practitioner. You're going to be occupationally a poultry farmer. So when they ask you what is your profession, you will say, I am a cattle keeper. I am a pig farmer. I am a knitter. I am a hairdresser. So that's why we call them occupations. Several you've been asked, what is your occupation? So you've been saying, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm whatever. So in this case, in the language of DIT, that's why we call an occupation. When you go inside the book on the what I call the syllabus, which is now the assessment, which is the syllabus, you find that what you call chapters in that book, we call them modules. You need to write that one. They are called modules. When you go back and read about a module, the way the module starts, grows, and concludes is that I can do that module alone and I will earn a living. Are we together? So in ICT, for example, you will have a module called computer applications. Word, okay, Word, MS Word, in which you're going to do Excel at level 1. You're going to do Microsoft Word, you do Excel, and you do Publisher. And the last one, the learning working assignment. Okay, there is a module. Let me just first take you. There is a module. Under the module, there is a learning working assignment. Under the learning working assignment, there is a practical exercise. Are we together? So the learning working assignment is the general thing that you want someone to get. So there are those learning working assignments. Then after that, there is a practical exercise. A practical exercise supports the learning working assignment. So now, if a practical in a learning working assignment, there will be, say, use MS Word. Under MS Word, the practical exercise will be, for example, create a folder. So when you're teaching this learner, or when this learner is in the process of learning, the PEX, which we call PEX, practical exercise, is they're actually creating a folder. When I come for time of assessment and the test item, note the word test item, I'll come to that. I'll just be telling this learner, create a folder, and I'll just be there like this with my assessment. As she started, control and rename the folder. Has she actually created a folder? Are we together there? That is a practical exercise. So now we know what is called a learning working assignment. We know a module. Okay, now we know the occupation. We know the module. We know a learning working assignment. And we also know the PEX. Have I left anybody behind? You look all to be with me. So that is it. So, and under every module, the last learning working assignment is entrepreneurial values. And this is what brings me to what we call a modular. Outside lower secondary curriculum, I've told you DIT assesses many things. So there is what we call even modular assessment in so many ways, but sticking to ICT. For example, if someone has learned Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and has also learned entrepreneurial values. Entrepreneurial values is actually doing business. You know this because at DIT we say anything you know and you can't earn from it, then it's obsolete. You don't need to know it. It is occupying your space for nothing. So we are saying at the end, you know now Excel, you know Word, you know PowerPoint. What can you do? Like say you drop out of school, are you going to be useless? Or you can actually come to my office and you say, well, I know how to type. I know how to sort things. I know how to make tables. I know how to even prepare a presentation. And I can give you a job because you have those what? Skills. So every module you see in that book is planned that if a learner does not proceed, they can actually use the knowledge and the skills of that module to do something. So in the world of work already, there are people who will do modular. There are people who go and assess and someone says, in different things. For example, the lady talked about architecture drafter. Someone can just take a module of drawing plans alone. And you come, you draw my plan, but you don't take it to the district to have it approved. But I will pay you money for that. In figuring, I'm sorry for, okay, let me use poultry. In poultry, there is a module which talks about mixing feed. I don't need to rear chicken to earn, but I can mix it. Am I lying? There are people who are actually mixing feeds. So there's a module of mixing feeds. So someone who learns mixing feeds can mix the feeds and put them to market and sell. So that is what we have been doing outside in the world of work. But this is not applicable now to lower secondary. But I was just trying to explain to you how intense a module is. And this will have a feature in the assessment process. So every module you see there has the element of I can do something when I've done this module. Feel free to disrupt me. Feel free to ask in case I leave you. I don't want to leave you, but if you have a burning question, write it down. I'll leave this place when I've answered all the questions. So, modular, I was just giving you background information, but it is not for lower secondary. A lower secondary learner, in this case of DIT, is from senior 1 up to senior 3, using level 1 occupations that you have. Level 2 is under construction. But now we are dealing with level 1. So level 1, for the 3 years, you're supposed to have covered that ATP from the start to the end, covering all the modules. So you have 3 years. But 3 years, of course, you know the time is limited because so it is extended to that level. So after that, you get your certificate. What kind of certificate do you get? The Directorate of Industrial Training, Rogers has already told you, is an ISO certified body. Does anybody know ISO? ISO, International Standard Organization. One of the things that is so hard, that I've witnessed that is so hard to get in this world, in terms of standards, is that ISO certificate. You have to live by it. You have to prove 100% that, like beyond doubt, that you qualify for it. What does that mean? It means that if I have my level 1 certificate from the Directorate of Industrial Training, which is a standard, an ISO body, I can go to Greeceland. And I will not need to study, but I can now pursue level 2. Or I can even get a job without someone questioning my papers. UNEP is not an ISO body. That's why when you want to go and do your HSC in Kenya, they will take you through what? Exams to meet their standards. So why did DIT become an ISO body? And why the whole idea of DIT? First, we all did, all of you, including myself, we did a career for, you would literally not be employed, even hardly do anything. Because what could you do? Myself, maybe, I don't know, I would be selling maybe clothes, whatever, I would be married anyway and having children and being a mother, but for men, I don't know. You'd be someone's ish husband who doesn't have money. So, so after senior 4, UCE certificates. Not only does, if you want to go, if you have your UCE certificate, the best thing you can do with it is to go to advanced level. And also when you finish your advanced level with your USCE certificate, no one asks. You people, when you go for interviews, does anybody ask for your senior 4, P7, senior 4, senior 6? They always look at your transcript. And these other skills, there's that table we always put proficiency in Word, Excel. You have prepared your CVs that way. That's what we are looking for. So that's what the world is looking for. So the whole idea was someone studies all these years from baby to senior 4, but if you drop out under any circumstances, you do not have anything that can even recognize you within your community as a person who studied, and even senior 6. So we say, but then you're old, you're mature, you finish senior 5, I think when I was 16 or 17. So, but there you are an old person. You can give birth. So anyone who can give birth, then you should be in position to be able to take care of that. Or even your family, you are an old person, you're supposed to be earning. So we said when a person leaves senior 4, the assessment. I have been to these assessments, I know what it means. The practical bit is really, what takes 80%, it is really practical. And people fail if they are not well prepared. So when you finish your level 1, you have seen, it is, they are doing consultations, they are doing all that, but it's already a concluded deal. When you go to senior 5, you will pursue level 2. Level 2 is a continuation of level 1. I have had, now to answer that gentleman's question, is DIT compulsory? I always ask people, is UNEP compulsory?
Yes.
Is UNEP compulsory? No. So when you don't do UNEP, what happens? You can't proceed to senior 5. Should you want to proceed to senior 5, you will have to sit UNEP. Should you want to UNEP certificate, you have to actually do what? Sit UNEP. So if they've told you that DIT is a component of the new curriculum and you're saying it is not compulsory, so therefore the curriculum is not what? Is not compulsory. So I always don't want to use the word, they ask me, I say, you know you're beating around the bush. I'll tell you, you'll not just get the word compulsory, but I'll show you the importance of having DIT. And from the importance, is in that competence space. Because if I gave you yes, you will not understand. You say, government Uganda, those things you will complain, but if I show you the importance, perhaps you will appreciate it and know that you're supposed to do that DIT project. So, I've told you now, level 2. When you pass your level 1, then you go to level 2. Now, level 2 is equivalent to senior. I'll tell your area MPs that are challenged to go and pursue level 2 certificate of DIT. No one will question you. And I'll tell you how. All of you are not candidates of level 1. Because you're already in the world of work. I told you how we assess modular and how we assess people in the world of work. For example, someone is a cook at a certain school. They have been cooking for that school for 20 years. Do you want to tell me that that person is not a cook? So perhaps DIT will come and polish you and tell you, okay, when you're cooking, make sure you wear this protective gear. Make sure you put a net in your hair. Make sure. So we cannot beat you, but we will not take you through the training of level 1 because you have been cooking. So all of you are ICT teachers. Majority of you are ICT teachers. I don't need to take you through ICT, but there are some sections of ICT that I myself would want training. For example, I've never developed a mobile application, so other than using TikTok and what, you can't even tell me to get there, I do not know. Even when I know much of ICT. Can you develop an application? But you teach of ICT. So should you want to be a mobile applications developer, then you start from what? From 0. You have to start from level 1. But now, all of you ICT, you studied your telecommunications, you studied IT, computer science at Makerere. But if I may ask you, you have seen For example, in the class of agriculture, all those occupations. So a graduate of Makerere University who studied 3 years of agriculture, what did that person study? Rogers, could you please put for me the cluster for agriculture? So we have 21 occupations. I am privileged to have participated, I'll tell you, the Directorate of Industrial Training training manuals for level 1. I'll tell you about this one. So this is one. I don't want to use this one because it's controversial in I want to use web applications developer. That's what you do at. Did you have this as it called? At university we call it what? Did you do web applications developer as a course unit? Okay. So that now we have web applications developer, and you guys are ICT, you are the face of the world. So what happens when we want web application developer? You go in an institution where that recently I saw they had a crisis, they didn't have web application developers, they didn't have mobile application developers, and they were looking for people. But you have so many graduates of ICT. So to say that some of these things that we started had an element of touch, and do not concentrate on anything. I was telling about agriculture. These are 21 occupations. So a person who went to Makerere University and studied a degree in agriculture, what do they do? In agriculture, the training manuals are bigger than this. I looked at poultry, I said, but I will never raise what? I will never rear chicken because I am not ready. You have to be at your chicken house 24/7. If you don't do that, these are the people who will tell you, because you do not know the cause of death, you're not there. You're in class teaching by the time they die. You came and then phoned them cold. And you're like, because you weren't what? You weren't there. But all these are very wonderful things that people earn from as long as you concentrate. So what will happen when we finish senior 6? That is continuing to change. When these graduates make it to senior 6, all these ones will be degrees. So at the university, you're not likely going to find a degree called agriculture, but you'll find a degree in poultry farming, in cattle keeping, in web applications development, in website development, in all those things. So all these things are going to change the degrees. Are we together at that level? Okay, so I have finished explaining the occupations. I have finished explaining the learning working assignment. And most importantly, I want to go back to the entrepreneurial values. I have an ATP. Okay, I have ATPs, all of them online, but let me use the training manual. At the end of every module, there is entrepreneurial skills. So it's focused to help this learner to earn from the knowledge, from the experience, and from the skills they have gained. For every occupation you will go to, you will find that one, and that is a core. How will it manifest? Learners of senior 1. Now, senior 3 is the aura is those, even in the formal way, that those people have had challenges. Their challenges are not about to end. Even here, they don't have challenges. So, one thing that a learner has to do, that a learner has to do when they get to school is to open up a DIT account. Go and tell your classes and the teachers. This one will give you information, but I'll give you much more information that concerns you. So when a learner goes to senior 1, they open an account at the bursars. And they will start depositing money from their projects. For example, a vegetable farmer. These people are going to be doing these projects at home and at school for the 3 years. If at the end of the 3 years you have not made 80,000 for your assessment, 10 marks gone. Are we together? So we are saying, we are teaching these young people the value for money. When your father gives you money, for me, I'd never, when I was studying, I'd never understood that people hustle for money, even when I used to see my father hustle. Until one day I was asking for this, I don't know how I value it. If I buy a shoe and my husband buys me a shoe, because it is my heart and I'll go back and ask him, hey, the shoe is now worn out, I need another one. But I'll value it. So to say, we need these learners to know that they are not supposed to waste money. As an entrepreneur, those of you who have done businesses, you know that when you get it, you have to account for it. When you get it, you have to spend it. You have to pay workers, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay rent, you have to do all those things. And then what remains? You have to do self-improvement. You have to invest in yourself. So we have said that these learners to be taught money. For the 3 years, if in whatever you're doing, if you're doing computer applications user, and you have not earned 80,000, then you're not doing an occupation because we are training you for the world of work to earn money and you have gained skills. So for example, I can go to the secretary and I tell them, you know what? I can type all the circulars for the school. And then I will earn money. A person who is doing hairdressing, they will stop barbers from coming from outside the school, and these people will be doing their skills. Because if we are shaving hair, the learner is actually doing what? Shaving hair. There's nothing like if you want to shave hair, you get a clip and get a clip and actually shave hair. So that learner will know how to shave hair and will shave hair for money. And will go and deposit into their account. So at the end of the 3 years, we will come when we are preparing exams and we say, oh, okay, this is Mercy. Where is her account? Did she make 80,000? 80,000 is okay to give you 10 marks. If you make more, God be the glory. But if you make less, 10 marks down. You go and tell your school leaders. That information I always give it to the school leaders. That is that. From there, so we have a learner now that has graduated. Okay, now let me talk about assessment. You've been training these learners. Let me just now introduce the training manuals. So you have the ATPs, and what is coming next to you are the training manuals. Let me raise the controversial one. Before you kill Rogers, I already see you guys I am on those groups, and I see you almost eating Rogers. The name ICT practitioner. Who is an ICT practitioner?
Practice is ICT.
So what is ICT? I have already asked all of you that all of you are ICT, you're the face of this country. But how many of you know how to develop web applications? Yet you're ICT practitioners. So when this name was initially given to this book, but then we found out that an ICT practitioner is like, I am an agriculturalist. You get the point? When you say I'm an agriculturalist, what do you do? So when you say I'm an ICT practitioner, what actually do you do? So the name of the occupation changed to computer applications user. The ATP, unfortunately, was already printed and distributed, but the content remains the same. Computer applications user, and this is the training manual for the computer applications user. This is just a sample. These are just samples. What I brought are just samples. I'll just let you look at them. So this is what is coming next. Now, these manuals, who has taken another one? How are these manuals? You're going to enjoy these manuals very, very much. agriculture. So these manuals were developed by the Directorate of Industrial Training together with elite publishers and the people from the world of work. Now, DIT, I told you, is about what you can do, not what you know, what you have had, what you had your parents tell you. It is actually what you do. So how I developing these manuals, I use agriculture. For example, oil palm. The Black one, I had never seen an oil palm. We went up to where? Kananga. And you sit with the practitioners who tell you, this is it, this is it, this is it. One interesting thing that I found out was when I visited your place for one book called Ceramist. A ceramist. Who knows a ceramist? A ceramist is this person who does for you the tiles, the cups, the sinks, all those clay things in your house. So, I also want to develop this point with the importance of DIT. This one touched my soul because I love it. I loved it because I just want to know about it. So we went to Uganda Clays to see the ceramists. So they also make those roofing tiles and these things they put here at this level. What are the marks and things? Yeah. So, and they also make floor tiles. So we went there and then of course they take you through the process. You get the clay, you grog it, you cut it, you soak it, you do all those things. At the end of the day, I told them, so I asked them, Uganda Clays, you want to produce roof tiles. Now, I found out that the material that makes one roof tile, the material that makes that one roof tile is the same material that makes one clay brick. But the difference is on the firing. Like for the clay brick, they will just they make a killing and they burn. But the firing of a roof tile, because it's going to endure a lot of weather conditions up there, is high. Only the fire. So if we are setting the oven, we are going to put a brick at 75%, and then the tile, we are going to put it at 80 firing level of heat. You people, when I got to know about that, and then most importantly, we discovered that Uganda Nojola Yam 7 has the best clay in the world. We found out that the material that makes all these things, including tile, is naturally Uganda, 100%, except the glaze. Now the glaze is that like a smooth thing. It is that glittering thing. You just buy glaze. The most expensive of all things is kaolin. Kaolin that strengthens those things, but it is naturally occurring and untouched in Karamoja. Because these Uganda clays, people don't touch it. It is only the first family that have started producing tiles that are touching kaolin in Karamoja. Otherwise, on the mineral map, it is there and it is untouched. When I looked at these things, I was like, Banange, Ruacho Muntafo Wav. Etafalo Ligulebio Bitano, and the tile you buy it at 3,500. And now I asked Uganda Clays, so why don't you produce other things? And they told us, we are overwhelmed. Already times we can be here and we have 1,000 structures that are waiting for the supply. So I asked myself, okay, I didn't want to say we were bewitched, but I said we were not exposed. And that is the reason. That is about ceramist. And then I come to decoration. There is a whole occupation called events decorator. Most of you have had parties. Decorators come and charge you 20. You do not know anything. They don't pay taxes. They don't do anything. They will just bag their money and go away. They don't, no one gives accountability. I earn a salary, which is taxed, which pays NSSF, which does all the things. So for the government also increase the tax base. They said, okay, let's dig out all these people. So briefly, how these occupations came about is for every occupation that you see there, the minimum of 50,000 people are doing it in this country and are earning money, and earning a living from it. I know some of you have asked me, how come there are some occupations that you have not put? The process of occupations development will never end because we will do as many as there are employing people in this country. But so far, that's what we could come up with to have the program started. Yeah, so that brings me to the point that when you helping learners, I feel that being a teacher of ICT does not necessarily stop you from guiding learners on which occupations to choose. Is just expose these learners to match me if I was in senior 3 and someone exposed me. And when I was growing up in an area there, those of you who come from Mitoma, there's a place called Omunyindo. They are Chinese. We grew up calling them Bazoo. We used to go there to see the Bazoo. Now that place has the most expensive clay. Clay has types. So the most expensive clay is porcelain. And you also know that when you go to the market to buy floor tiles, they'll tell you, zino za porcelain, zino za chi. Ate za porcelain, they are more expensive. So porcelain is in our area. And the Chinese, I think, when I was 3 years, we used to go there and would see them take the what? They would mine, they take the clay, like they take it on trucks and go and export it to China, and then they bring stuff here. So now that I learned ceramics recently, I went and asked these Chinese, you people, tell us, and they were actually these people mining porcelain and taking it away in my own area, and no one has ever known. I'm waiting to go and chase them when I watch. Now that I know, I have bad news because I am getting my assessment in ceramics very, very soon. And from there, I'm going to do level 2, and I'll go hunt for the government and tell you guys, I'm here, a local entrepreneur, a local investor. So to say that just expose learners to many things. I know that most of you are going to choose ICT practitioner, but you want, like, website, I've told you, World Bank here was looking for mobile application developers for World Bank operations and monitoring of what? Of projects. And in Uganda, there were no mobile application developers, just a few. I think they managed to get 4, and those are the people we worked with here. So about we help these learners to develop applications. Someone is going to ask me, where are we going to get the teachers? I also don't know, because we don't have them. But we have the training manuals. And we also know that in the curriculum, in the new curriculum, you find out information. If you want to learn mobile applications, I'm sure there is a whole video on YouTube that can teach you. But DIT won't promise you teachers. And I also don't think Ministry of Education is going to promise. They would have lied to you. But this is here for us. So, have I left anything about the modules? No, I haven't left anything about occupations. So to say continue. Now, I know a major question, let me answer that one. How do you people come in other than preparing learners? I receive 1 million calls every day. How do we become assessors? The Directorate doesn't have assessors for ICT, but we need them. And the exams are going to happen in November 10th to 17th. Elite Publishers is privileged to register all the schools. I always look at the forms. Every school has ICT, computer applications user, website developer. Those two are hot cakes. And I always tell the Directorate that, hey, we have 8,032 schools registered on the MEs. The Directorate has so far registered 4,500. We hope that by the end of this term, maybe 6,000. We are saying the other 200, they'll catch up just like Karamoja is doing. They may miss the exams. So we are saying, where are we going to get assessors? And of course, some people say, there are so many ICT teachers. And I tell them, I show off. And I said, there is a man called Rogers, together with the colleagues, he brought people together, ICT practitioners, ICT teachers are all together. And the director is always quick to remind me that you know what, those are ICT people, but we want website. Do you get me? You are ICT, but we want a website developer. What does that mean? It means that we could squeeze because we are in trouble and use you, but at the next assessment we will not. Or if you are unlucky, we will not even use you because there are website developers that a DIT has been assessing. Now, most of your schools have centers. This brings me to school registration. Schools have been asked, we have been all over telling you, register schools, we have sent you forms, we packed for you forms in your boxes and all those things. And schools have responded by registering. So when you register, you become an accredited center for DIT, just like you have application for UNEB, to conduct UNEB exams. So people like you can go through your centers and apply for assessment. What I'm driving at is, for you to assess level 1, you must have got a certificate in level 2 in that particular occupation. You can do all the occupations here. You can get level 1 certificate in all the occupations as long as assessment is done on you and you pass by 80%. So the jobs are there, there are many, but you need to have the international standards certificate, because if ISO gets to know that we are using people to assess ISO candidates, and those people, the assessors are not ISO, then we are not living, because having that certificate have rules and regulations that govern you, that you must comply. And the DIT pays money. They pay money, and the assessment is forever there. Because now we are going to lower secondary, we are going to, of course, high school, and then also there are institutions, tens of thousands of institutions that DIT does, and then also world of work. We have had so many companies come up now. So many companies come up now and say, come and assess us, come and assess, give us assessment centers and all that. DIT is for the community, but say whenever in your school, if there's any teacher, even these community, the sweepers and what, and interested in anything, get them class, let them study. For us, we are coming, we are assessing. There's a very good businessman in Kasangati. So the vision 2040 says, whichever thing you're doing, you must have a qualification or a certificate in it. So even these women who are selling midara are supposed to have what? A certificate in entrepreneurship. So this businessman in Kasangati, there's a market next to his school. He told them, right now if you go to Kasangati, you will not find midara. They close. So they are in class, all of them looking like this, studying seriously. And he has made them pay school fees. And he has also made them to pay that 80,000. They are soon, we're very excited to conduct exams, I think, next month. Of course, those will take them for the 3 years, because they are adults, they have been doing this. So we don't take 3 years. So these people, we're going to popularize this, you will see it on TV. Very enterprising. So go out there, tell everyone who's interested. Now you take of our ancestors. So usually DIT will tell you, for them to come and assess you, you will have 5 people. Now, this is for Rogers.
This is how the books are. They accompany the other ATPs. There's a textbook for each module.
In a school. But you can combine efforts. And you say 2 schools, maybe they are 3, and then you go to 1 center. Otherwise, if you come alone, DIT will tell you, no. Of course, DIT does not train. It's an assessment body. They will tell you, we have data mine, we have ITAU, we have all those areas. They will send you there to do an assessment. They will find you there to do an assessment. But you be assessed. So, if all of you want assessment, I don't know, this association of yours could be a registered association. You apply as a what? As an assessment center. You are accredited. Mtwara certain wage, 350,000. Then all of you who will apply to be assessed will do 80,000. So all of you, like now, if that was there, would come here and hire Kololo SS. All of you, your ICT people, I know you have laptops. You come with your laptops. Because DIT will come and say, but do these people have tools? You guys, what you want, the tools that you want is a laptop. Isn't it? You guys are so lucky. Other people want hammers, what have you, but you only need a laptop. So once you apply, then all of you, actually I'm tasking Rogers, because you will help me. I will not have struggle looking for assessors to earn money. So, Rogers, just let, what is it called? Itau apply as an assessment center. When it has applied as an assessment center, I will accredit it. After I've accredited it, ask all these nice people to pay 80,000 and some more money, because you're not doing business for them. You charge them 120,000. You're getting an ISO certificate, and let them apply. We will and you tell us that we would love to do exams, and it is at Kololo that we are going to sit assessment. In DIT, it is called assessment. When you're quote unquote examining skills, you're assessing skills. So you will not. I don't want you people to leave this place and start saying DIT exams. No. DIT doesn't do exams. DIT does assessment of skill. So after that, we will come, we assess you. After we've assessed you, some of you will fail, some of you will do corrections, some of you will pass. And immediately you pass on level 2. We will assess you on level 2. Because for you to participate in the assessment that is in November, you will have to have done what? Level 2. Level 2 assesses level 1. And most importantly, acknowledge that you're already teachers and knowledgeable people. So from there, you get your international certificates. You even put them on your status. And you say, ISO. The certificate looks so nice, and it's very credible, by the way. And after that, we automatically list you. Then now, in November, we'll just be posting you, go. And you earn money. Have I made a business sense? And I look forward to that. So now, I know that I can say a lot more about, let me quickly go through the questions. Then if there are more, difference between application and ICT practitioner, I have answered that. Who qualifies to take assessment? I have answered that. Everyone who feels that they are ready to do the exam, I need to do the assessment. Because for us, we come and do the assessment. Whoever is ready. Drafter assessment. Architectural, those are the people who draw plans. I'll bring it to an example. Because those people drew manual plans through using pencils and all, but we move with technology. Now those plans are drawn with using AutoCAD. So when you look into the assessment and training package, you will see sample assessment. And once you see in that ATP, when you read clearly, it's because I'm speaking with people who didn't read this ATP clearly. There is what you would find as related knowledge. Related knowledge is not a component of the practical exercises or the learning working assignment, but this is related knowledge that you should know. For example, if you knew all the applications and now they have brought TikTok, knowing TikTok is what? Related knowledge. Yes, because these things keep changing. Like what she said, people used to draw plans using, but that is now AutoCAD. I just sit down and do my computer and I have a plan for you. So related knowledge and trends. What are the trends? in your occupation, you must know the trades, business trades, commercial trades, and all that. So, you also, people to prepare learners. I think I've also addressed that. Initially, this program was supposed to be that the electives that you have at your school, if you chose agriculture as an elective, then you would choose occupations within agriculture, such as the teacher and the facilities that the school and also support the occupation. But then how are you going to prepare learners swimming? Because we don't have a swimming pool. Or a nearby swimming pool and you learn swimming. Okay, it's all right. And also initially, learners are supposed to choose what they want to do. But then schools were like, no, this will take away the learners, what, and that's how it ended up being. But then this time we said, okay, schools choose occupations within which to place learners. Why? Because a learner is a beneficiary. It's me who wants what I want to do, not choose for me. If you dictated, I would have done a course that some of you did for your parents. Because your father wanted a lawyer, and he said you must do law. So, but for you, are you a lawyer? So people to prepare learners. I've told you, I don't promise that the government is going to save you. People call me, tell me, they're very serious, but I can think of learning. And very serious. Is that yes? Is that job? So, and then I say to them, look, it's a new culture, and let's try to embrace the new culture. In Finland, for example, where new culture has taken effect and where we benchmark, teachers rather go to class because learners have moved on, learners are finding out information, they just come to you and then you have discovered this, you think this is right, or you don't come at all. And that's what the new culture is supposed to do. The training manuals, when you look at them, they will give you almost everything, only that you be that you practice it. So let's embrace the new curriculum, not one side or a side that favors us, but how it is supposed to unfold. So those people, I know that in the new curriculum, for example, you can call a resource person. New curriculum, as right in biology, Eric was the best in biology. So my author said, you go and ask your mother the importance of attending and never fear. Does the teacher have to tell you that in class? Because if this person has a
sample
mother,
how the books are.
the mother will say, has the child got the answer? The child has got an answer. So, but is the mother a teacher? She's a knowledgeable person. So, find out information. Find out is what I can tell you. As we wait for policies to change and what. But most importantly, also, don't choose an occupation that is going to give out. You don't choose swimming if you don't have a pond at school. So choose occupations. These occupations were carefully selected, and they always follow policy. I have had a school somewhere in Onaja. How can you even start telling us about Katofani when we are living in a block? I told you, when you were applying for the center number, they told you you're supposed to have an acre of land. Where you have a beach. So all these things are in policy. Let's go with the best policy. What is standard schools in Uganda supposed to do? That these directors go behind those and learn that I have a computer lab. And then I will hear people saying, we don't even have computers. How can you tell us? They only say that you go and invest in school. When you know it is policy that you must have a computer lab and you don't have it. So those things just don't fall from the sky. So I have answered no teachers. ICT as a subject and ICT as a practitioner, I have answered that registration is possible. But come end of March, we are closing registration. For those who not have registered, you will participate in next year. But I've told you the implication. If a learner doesn't do level 1, they will have to repeat level 1. Should they go to senior 5? There's no way you can get an assessment for level 2 when you have not done level 1. So please prepare learners please prepare learners and encourage your schools to do so. So that registration is still possible. When you have finished registering the schools, other officers will be communicating to you how you will register now learners. Because the school gets a center accreditation and then there will be registration of learners. The way you do it for your NEP is basically the way it will be done. Same question about DIT assessment. Assessment is 80% practical and 20% theory. There will be examination given to you just like a NEP does. Examination test items. In DIT, we call them test items because we are testing for skills. We don't call them examination papers. And then before that, we shall send you what we call a cut list. A cut list for a computer technician, for example, will be a dead computer. Are we together? For your website, I hope I don't know. What will it be? But they will tell you, have a software. You get, for example, have a hosting, whatever, software, whatever it is called. Yeah, a web writing, this man is very intelligent. A web writing tool. So they would, okay, now, let's start to say a cut list is like how they tell you, prepare rats in biology, prepare a frog. So DIT will send you a cut list in preparation exam, a practical exam. Yeah, so that is the cut list, and the other one is a test item. So you do, when you practical, we will leave when you know your marks. And then theory, you will get the result at the end. Certificates will be issued soon after, I think by January, like how Enable releases exams, that's how it will be done also. And let me see, have I answered registration program? Yeah, extra support from DIT. Extra support from DIT, I've told you there are training manuals, but I don't want to promise that they may be free, they may not be free. There are still struggles. The availability of resources. I have told you that Directorate of Industrial Training is a directorate under Ministry of Education. It receives finances from Ministry of Education, not even from the National Treasury, like NEP does or NCDC. So there will always be challenges. I know you're going to ask me, when are the workshops? When are the workshops? How do you roll out this, without this, without this? Yeah, these are financial challenges that I am also not able to talk about, but I know when the budget is not there to support a program, then your hand here. That's when you can blame the wife of the president, not me. And then, but the workshops are coming. I think in March there will be regional workshops, and from there we'll roll out. Also, the training manuals are coming. Most important thing I'm sure about is that they will be available. Whether they will give schools for free is what I'm not sure about, but the training manuals will be available. So your school can procure, or if the government gives, but even if it gives, it may be 1-1 and what you applied for. So